So sometimes the simplest concepts can be the hardest ones to achieve on a compelling, dramatic, and intriguing level. Well, writer-director Stephen Knight and actor Tom Hardy have achieved something very special and unique with this film, Locke. Ivan Locke has worked diligently to craft the life he has envisioned, dedicating himself to the job that he loves and the family he adores. On the eve of the biggest challenge of his career, Ivan receives a phone call that sets in motion a series of events that will unravel his family, job, and soul. On this long nighttime drive to a singular destination, the most beloved aspects of his life will clash with one life-shattering truth. So limited theatrical release films kind of annoy the crap out of me because there have been a couple of them that have come out that I really wanted to fucking see, and they're not playing at any theater near me at all, and I have to wait an agonizing several months before it comes out on video for me to be able to watch it. And in a lot of cases, they end up being very much worthwhile waits because Locke is a very good film in my opinion. Like I said, some of the simplest concepts are the hardest ones to craft into a very compelling, fascinating type of film. And with this concept where it's just Tom Hardy as this character, Ivan Locke, in this car, going on a journey to a specific destination, having all these very life-changing, life-deconstructing phone calls with all these people in his life, all these very emotionally charged and very soul type of tearing up type of conversations. It has worked out fantastic because one, Tom Hardy is a wonderfully fantastic dimensional actor that has not quite gotten to the point where he's broken out and been a big name star whatnot. But there have been a couple of very good directors that have noticed his talent and used him in some very, very good films. And Stephen Knight obviously is that director, and I think this film, beyond Tom Hardy's performance, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but Stephen Knight's direction in this film is fantastic. And anyone who knows RavensFilm Productions' work, I am very much into that very nighttime, soaked-in, neo-noir type of look and feel and everything, and this film is completely that, and you can kind of definitely get a Collateral vibe off the film, which is a film that is extremely defining for my own filmmaking inspirations and everything. Just all those sodium and mercury vapor lights and the dark soaked streets and everything just is very evocative of that, and obviously because of Collateral, everything so much being set in that cab, so there's a lot of, you can really get that type of vibe for it, and Stephen Knight's direction and the cinematography for the film is just beautiful, just fantastic, very inventive type of stuff, and just everything they use visually in this film just works so beautifully that they use all the reflections off the glass and everything, and all very interesting type of angles and subtle type of things throughout the whole thing to shoot it and edit it in such beautiful ways. It just works out so wonderfully, and I like the quality of this film that you are going on this journey with Ivan Locke. You never get a real breather in the film overall. You feel like you are on this long, tiring, exhausting type of ride. Anyone who's been on like a late night, long ass drive, like an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is, you really know that type of feeling, how it just kind of, the longer the drive goes on, the more it kind of drains something out of you, it kind of drains you emotionally, everything in it, all that, and this film achieves that so well with the tone and vibe and how everything just put together overall. But getting to Tom Hardy's performance in this film, because you do not see any other actors on screen in this film. Everyone else is just a voice actor working off of everything that Tom Hardy is doing in the film, and I think he does such a wonderful job with this character who, a guy who keeps a cool, calm, collected surface to himself, while you can see that underneath the surface he is very much slowly, gradually throughout the progression of the film, slowly falling apart inside. Things are slowly tearing away at him. Things are falling apart while he's trying to keep everything together in a nice, neat package for himself, thinking that everything can work out just fine at the end of this thing. Even as a viewer, you're kind of like thinking that's probably not going to happen for him, because it just you can see those cracks in his self as the film goes on, and just a very subtle, very emotionally nuanced performance. I think he did a fantastic job in this thing that is very interesting. Like I said, it's such a simple concept that if it falters in any single way, that it can really kind of lose your attention very easily. But because Hardy's performance is so compelling, has such a warmth to him too at the beginning of the film and everything. Just there's an engaging quality about how he handles the role, taking on this sort of Welsh accent to have again reinforce that sort of calm, collected type of feel for the character. That the tone of his voice kind of kept everything at a nice even plane, trying to everyone he's talking to, he's trying to calm them down, trying to keep them calm and collected. Well, under the surface, like I said, he is slowly being very torn up inside and everything, and he's really trying to keep things together because of things that have happened in his past with his own father and this whole scenario and everything, that he's trying to put right something that he felt his father did wrong. While kind of going on in the film, I kind of figure that there's really no right decision in this guy's life right now, and what he's sacrificing might not be worthwhile, but for the own guy's sake, that he seems like he's trying to do something right that was done wrong for him. And it's very interesting, it's very fascinating, solid script in this film, that if the script was just not quite there, not quite at the exact right moments, right beats, whatnot, again, it would fall apart. Anything in this film that would fall apart would make the whole film just dissolve on itself, but everything is executed with such perfect tones and beats and everything. All the voice actors do a fantastic job just bringing so much character and so much personality just in their voice acting. Do a fantastic job, and overall I just think Locke is a very good film. Not something that has a lot of rewatch value, but you sit there, you watch it, if you get enveloped in the film, it's very much satisfying in a certain way, and it maintains that isolated feel throughout the whole film, that now at the end of the film kind of opens up the world or whatnot. It gets to a certain point and it moves on and concludes the film in a certain way. So it might be, when you hit the end of the film, you might be wanting something a little bit more big, something a little more satisfying, a little bit larger type of payoff or something like that, something else, something a little bit more conclusive at the end of it. But what needs to be there is there at the end of the whole film. I think Stephen Knight executed everything very well. I thought Tom Hardy just did a fantastic performance in this film. I highly recommend checking out. You can get it on Redbox, I think it's on iTunes and a couple other places, Amazon. You definitely check out the film if you're into this type of kind of slow building type of character piece type of film with a bit of a neo-noir edge and everything. I think it has a very good appeal. If you have those, if you're predisposed to liking those types of films, I would very much highly recommend this film. It's definitely worth watching, and like I said, even get it here in a nice small enclosed environment, dark lighting, everything, just turn all the lights off, get enveloped in that very dark nighttime world where you're just enveloped into that small little car that Ivan Locke is driving around in on this motorway and everything, to just get yourself soaked into that whole thing. I think that works fantastically for the tone and vibe and atmosphere of this film. I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. And I'll be back in due time with a Sin City 2 review at the end of the week. And from there on out, I am interested in the Liam Neeson movie, A Walk Among the Tombstones, and that'll be coming up in September. So a couple of things are still grabbing my interest here as new trailers roll out and everything. So be on the lookout. There'll be new reviews coming up soon. And take care. Bye-bye.